Hey guys, welcome back to Grinding Gears episode 12. This is the exhaust and intake. So we started out with the KX exhaust that we picked up off Marketplace for $100 that I said about last week. So that was super cheap. We just had to make a couple of cuts to the. I didn't want to go and buy a whole exhaust, like all new piping, so we just used what we had there, cut it, made some little bends, and then all I needed at the bottom was a 90-degree 1 3/4 mandrel. So called up the exhaust shop, the local exhaust shop. They said they'd have one in by Tuesday arvo. That didn't happen, so that's why we're so late on our video, because those guys didn't get the part that we needed, so we had to film late into last night to get it going. So with the can here, we've cut basically this much out of a stock can and mounted it underneath. The real cool thing that we jagged it, I don't know, this thing just wants to be built. Everything seems to fit. So we've actually bolted this exhaust off the factory KX mount straight into the old factory foot peg mount. So there's a M8 hole on the other side, threaded, and it went straight in, right in exactly where we needed it. So all we had to do, I did muck it like my lengths because of the bend. So we've had to add in a little piece that's 20 mil on the other side. We were going to wrap this exhaust just to keep the heat down and hide some ugly welds, but I don't know, it looks kind of cool how it looks a bit homemade, so that's the way we're just going to leave it. We just tried to bend that mandrel a little bit with a bit of heat, so that's blued off a little bit, so that's good, and we'll just oil this pipe and make it stay those colours. So with the manufacturing of the pipe, we had the factory pipe like we said, and we could see that it was gonna fit, but like I said before, we made a bit of a rod for our back with the mount for the radiator. So we just cut that, bent it to the position that we needed to clear the mount, and then out of another little piece of the 1.5 inch, I think, or 1.25 inch it is, we just cut a little pie cut out of it and then added that in and just welded that up so it gets that top radius. So then we went onto the air intake. That was something that I've been racking my brain about for a while, because we have to fit the air temp sensor in it. So when we were mucking around in here, I just walked past one day and the boys were making up the sponsons, and this is actually a little sponson insert. So they're the 4 adjustment holds, so you can change the angle of your sponson on your jet ski. And this just happened to be, like, these are alloy, so that just happened to be the exact size that we needed, and this had to go into a silicone hose, into this silicone hose here, so it's on the inside. It's probably the best part I've ever made. Like, this thing looks factory on the other side, but no one will ever see it, so make sure you have a look on the video, because you'll never see it again. So all I did was I cut out this middle piece, just got the die grinder in there and opened it up a little bit, so the middle of the sensor could go through it. And then I got 2 M5 nuts and just hit them in with a hammer and a screwdriver, and seated them in there, so they locked themselves in there. And then just put the air temp sensor in, 2 M5 bolts through there, and then Loctite 401. So I just cut the hole in the silicone hose, and then Loctite 401 the sensor bracket, the whole lot into it. So now the sensor's removable, so if it ever goes bad, we can just undo 2 bolts and pull it out. So, and I got a 2-inch uni filter, just a pod filter, just a good old school pod filter that you wash out with a bit of petrol when it gets dirty and re-oil it and throw it back on. I just got a bit of 2-inch exhaust pipe to fit into this silicone hose, so that just slides in and then just clamp either side and holds it perfect. With the silicone hose, I just got that from Autobarn. I think it was like 29 bucks, and then hose clamped it on the other end, and she's sweet, she's all ready to go. With the exhaust, the whole exhaust has cost me $115 and a bit of time and welding. That's it, nothing else. It's probably the cheapest motorbike exhaust we could make ever, like for a brand new exhaust, because that exhaust was brand new. So that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I don't think it's going to start. We had it running last night. We got a video of it.
We'll put it in.
But it's been a bit of a pig today for us.
We'll put it into the video, but
yeah. So we'll see how we go. Might give it a kick. I don't think it's going to start. There's something going on, but we kicked it. It ran. Got a video. We got proof, so it does run. Sounds cool. Sounds cool as fuck. So now next we've got to just get the seat on. What else? Throw the chain back on. I've just had the chain off because I was mucking around with other things. I just put new bearings in the rear wheel, so that's all good to go. I got the new front wheel bearings there ready to go in. Everything else I've just test fit up, like just with the old stuff. So we're just coming back over and making sure everything fit first, and then replacing it with all the new stuff. And then we've got to get a back brake line made. We've got to get onto some lights when they turn up. I've still got to find a speedo. I haven't found one of them, so that's probably gonna balls us up for next week, I guess. I don't know, we'll find something. But
let me know about the ride.
yeah, also we got this ride coming up, the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride on the 27th, and they've just advertised now that there's a motorcycle swap meet at Yatala. So we've got a few guys, and we're going to try, and if we can get this thing running and on the road, we're going to ride this, but if not, we'll take something else, and we're going to go for a ride out over Mount Tambourine and back into Yatala and go to the swap meet, so you'll see that too. We'll take a bit of footage of that.
If anyone's in the Gold Coast area.
Yeah, so if there's anyone around who's got a bike or even car wants to come for a drive, just hit us up and we'll give you the details. That's it for this one, so we'll catch you on the next one.